Be ready for the dictation. Start. The appellant has, in the course of his cross examination, accepted that the first respondent had deposited rupees 4 lakh in his account. Stop. There is a statutory presumption that the sum drawn in the check is a debt or liability that is owed by the drawer of the check to the drawee. Stop. The part payment made by the first respondent ought to have been reflected in the statutory notice issued by the appellant. Stop. The sum in the check is higher than the amount that was due to the appellant. Stop. Thus, the statutory notice issued under section 138 is not valid. Stop. It is an omnibus notice since it did not recognize the part payment issued under section 138 is not valid. Stop. It is an omnibus notice since it did not recognize the part payment that was made. Stop. The check was a security for the money lent by the appellant. Stop. The undated check was presented to the bank without recognizing the part payment that was already made. Stop. Counsel appearing on behalf of the appellant submitted that there is nothing on record to show that the payment of rupees 4 lakh was made towards the discharge of the debt of rupees 20 lakh and the payment of rupees 4 lakh was before the issuance of the check, and the first respondent did not make any payment of the sum that was due since the statutory notice that was served upon him on 15/4/2014. Stop. Counsel appearing on behalf of the first respondent submitted that the term debt or other liability used in section 138 of the Act has been defined in the explanation clause to mean a legally enforceable debt or other liability. Stop. Thus, the demand made in the statutory notice must be for a sum that is legally enforceable. If the debtor has paid a part of the debt, a statutory notice seeking the payment of the entire sum in the check without any endorsement under section 56 of the part payment made would not be legally sustainable, and since the first respondent has paid off a part of the debt, the appellant cannot initiate action if the check which represented the principal amount without deducting or endorsing a part payment has been dishonored. Stop. Whether section 138 of the Act would still be attracted when the drawer of the check makes a part payment towards the debt or liability after the check is drawn but before the check is encashed for the dishonor of the check which represents the full sum. Stop. When a part payment of the debt is made after the check was drawn but before the check is encashed, such payment must be encashed. Such payment must be endorsed on the check under section 56 of the Act. Stop. The check cannot be present for encashment without recording the part payment. Stop. If the unendorsed check is dishonored on presentation, the offence under section 138 would not be attracted since the check does not represent a legally enforceable debt at the time of encashment. Stop. For the commission of an offence under section 138, the check that is dishonored must represent a legally enforceable debt on the date of maturity or presentation. Stop. If the drawer of the check pays a part or whole of the sum between the period when the check is drawn and when it is encashed upon maturity, then the legally enforceable debt on the date of maturity would not be the sum represented on the check. Stop. When a part or whole of the sum represented on the check is paid by the drawer of the check, it must be endorsed on the check as prescribed in section 56 of the Act. Stop the check endorsed with the payment made may be used to negotiate the balance, if any. Stop if the check that is endorsed is dishonored when it is sought to be encashed upon maturity, then the offence under section 138 will stand attracted. Stop the first respondent has made part payments after the debt was incurred and before the check was encashed upon maturity. Stop the sum of rupees 20 lakhs presented on the check was not the legally enforceable debt on the date of maturity. Full stop. Over.